All right, so this piece comes from the Fresno Bee. A Fresno police officer placed on leave after seen with Proud Boys at Tower Theater protests. Published on March 14th. So again, this is recent. It just happened, and a police officer was seen with Proud Boys. That's oh my God. That's not quite sure how you spin that one. That's
oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
I think we all can agree that this is definitely a bad cop who doesn't deserve donuts. I think we all can agree it's definitely a bad cop who doesn't deserve donuts. His donuts should be confiscated. It's pretty obvious. A photo posted to Facebook shows a man identified as Fresno police officer Rick Fitzgerald dressed in Proud Boy gear at a Stop the Steal protest opposing the election results at the California Capitol on November 21st, 2020. Wow. So, Stop the Steal. You're a police officer. You're a police officer. That's just...
oh my God! Wow!
That's spicy.
Oh my God!
That's spicy. That's a real spicy meatball. You know? Spicy as Super Mario would say, or as Luigi would say, that's a way too so spicy. Mamma mia. Okay? The Fresno Police Department is investigating one of its own officers after he joined the Proud Boys on Sunday morning to counter protest the sale of the iconic Tower Theater to a church. Officer Rick Fitzgerald was spotted in the YouTube footage posted by Eddie Block, a Madura man who is a former Proud Boy. Block's home was raided by the FBI in late January. After police became aware of the footage, Chief Paco Balderrama, I want to say, launched an internal affairs investigation. According to a statement released by the department Sunday night, the statement did not identify Fitzgerald by name. The California Peace Officer Bill of Rights prohibits police from naming the officer. That's interesting. So they could name suspects. You know, that's a really, really strange thing.
It seems to me a strange thing.
It's a very, very strange thing. They can name you as a suspect in anything, you know, seen with freaking Proud Boys. They can then, you know, put you on all kind of lists. They can watch you. They can counsel you. You can lose your job. But suddenly, you know, you can't just release his name. You know, identify the officer, naming the officer, even though it's based on camera footage. You know, that's very, very interesting. That's a very, very strange thing.
It seems to me a strange thing.
Very strange thing, isn't it? Lieutenant Rob Beckwith later said the officer in question was placed on paid administrative leave, and his police officer powers were temporarily suspended pending the outcome of the investigation. Although at this point these are merely allegations and the matter will be fully investigated, it is important to maintain the integrity and legitimacy of our police department. Balderrama said in the statement.
That's bullshit. Stop lying.
That's bullshit. Stop lying. The Fresno Police Department. Your reputation is almost as bad as that LAPD. And trust me, if you're as bad as LAPD, you might as well be goddamn ISIS. Oh my God. Oh my God. If you are as anywhere near as bad as LAPD, you might as well be the mythical Antifa that the MAGA crowd and the far right keeps wanting to try to convince people even showed up there.
It was Antifa, hurrat.
It was Antifa, hurrat. So Fitzgerald was one of 8 officers who fired a total of 63 rounds that killed a 23-year-old Fresno Pacific University student in the Tower District in 2010, B archives show. The student was reportedly under the influence and holding a rifle, but no evidence showed he ever fired the gun. Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer, who was the Fresno chief for 18 years, also weighed in on the issue. These images are extremely disturbing and are being taken very seriously, Dyer said in a statement posted to Twitter. As the mayor of the city, I will not tolerate any City of Fresno employee belonging to organizations that promote views of supremacy, racism, or criminal conduct. This matter is under full investigation, and appropriate action will be taken to address any misconduct. I just, again, the fact that you have an environment where an officer kills people who haven't even fired a gun just because they had a gun. Which, first of all, if an officer shoots you because you merely have a gun on you, that they are not doing their job, because it is their job to uphold the Constitution. The Constitution says I have the right to bear arms. So he kills somebody else. Kill somebody else. Because they can carry a gun, but you can hang around terrorists, huh? That is a very, very strange thing.
It seems to me a strange thing.
It's a very strange thing. It's very, very strange how that works. Block live streamed himself showing up to the Tower Theater protest Sunday morning and showed Fitzgerald in the video. Fitzgerald wore clothing identifying himself as a sheepdog with a group called Sons of 76. Twitter users identified Fitzgerald as the same man who wore Proud Boy clothing at a Sacramento protest. Interesting. Oh, so this is not his first time then. This ain't his first time then. So Eddie Block, the guy that was recording it, that's him. Eddie is out with a group called Sons of 76. Eddie called this man Rick and implied that he was a cop. Back in November, a man with matching tattoos was in Sacramento wearing Proud Boy gear. He also had sheepdog name tags at the event. Interesting. Yeah, I can see the kind of like words down here and the words here and the tattoo there. Kind of like the part right there and the part right there too. I can definitely see that. Yeah, let me take a look there. Sheepdog. See the tattoos there on the side? Right? And if you turn over here, similar tattoos right there on the side. Sheepdog. Very similar build. Also called him Rick. Yeah, that would be, I think that's evidence. The officer was placed on leave. That's evidence. Interesting. So in another video, he identified him as that. Okay, so let's take a look at that then. I'm very interested in that. I'm very, very curious. This is very, very interesting. This is very, very interesting. I'm very, very curious in this. This is fascinating. This is fascinating, man. I tell you, this is fascinating. You know, I find it fascinating. I don't know about you. But I find it fascinating personally. Let's see. Let's go down here. Take a look right here in this photo. Okay, so that's tattoo right there. Fresno police. Looks very simple. Yep. That's our boy. Good job, Twitter sleuths. That's our boy. Whoo, that's our boy.
Oh my God.
Give your meat a good old rub. That's it. Nice and hot. Hot and spicy meat.
Yeah, boy. Spicy meat. That's a spicy meatball. Okay? Listen, as Super Mario would say, and as Luigi would say, Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Block and Fitzgerald joined the counter-protests to the Tower Theater sale. Counter-protests included Proud Boys and other known local far-right people who have expressed white supremacist views online. Tower District Bicycle Patrol officers are seen in Block's video monitoring the situation, but generally standing by. While Block confronts people protesting the sale of the theater, it's not clear if Fitzgerald does. Protesters have been out for weeks opposing the sale of the theater to a church believed to be anti-LGBTQ. Tower business owners also worry the sale to a church will hamper business operations in the area, such as bars or future marijuana dispensaries. Interesting. Proud Boys showed up to the counter protest last week as well, and later in the day, residents found swastika graffiti on Tower buildings. Swastika graffiti. That is very interesting. That's very interesting. So once again, you know, people are protesting the sale of this theater to this church because they think it's an anti-LGBT type of religious establishment. And on top of that, it could hamper, because again, there are certain local ordinances and everything else where you can't have certain, you know, businesses around a church, whereas marijuana and what have you. whereas cannabis is legal in California. So that's why people are protesting. So the Proud Boys are showing up to protest against those people. Right, so people are protesting the sale of a building, which is their right, and they're worried about weed sales as part of it. And a police officer shows up, right? Because this is one of the biggest excuses people always use is, well, just change the law. Just change the law. You could just change the law. I'll tell you what. You could just change the law. Just change the law. Why can't you just change the law? Well, the reason why is because whenever you try to change the law, some of the biggest opponents to laws changing are the police. Like, for example, in South Carolina, when we were talking about marijuana legalization or medical cannabis, one of the biggest opponents to that was the SLED division chief, Mark Keel. You know, the South Carolina law enforcement division, the top law enforcement division in the whole state. You had Sheriff Leon Lott from Richland County. You had several sheriffs from all over the state opposing it. So if you're going to say change the law, how about the freaking cops? Shut the fuck up then. And don't get in the way when I try to fucking change it then. But even then, they show up with goddamn terrorists. So, I mean, does it really matter then? Proud Boy involvement. Fitzgerald in online post says he's the president of Sons of 76, a local patriotic fraternity focused on community service and charity. But Fitzgerald said he previously was part of the Proud Boys and encourages others to join that group along with the Three Percenters, both fascist white supremacist groups that engage in violent clashes at political rallies. In a podcast episode, Fitzgerald said he was part of the local Proud Boys group for about a year and reached third degree in leadership level of membership before he left. Interesting. So he was leadership. It's not some low level guy. He was a shot caller. In terms of gangs and everything else, he was a shot caller, man. So not only are did we catch a bad cop who should have all of his donuts confiscated, we found a fascist, likely a white supremacist, likely, very likely, someone who is a terrorist leader. Again, all alleged. But based on what I'm seeing here, man, it's just looking harder and harder to argue there. It looks harder and harder to argue there. It looks hard and harder to argue there, man. It looks hard and harder. Fitzgerald said he wasn't a fan of going to protests, but instead wanted to focus on local issues and community service to promote the values of honor, integrity, faith, and patriotism. He called the Sons of 76 gentlemen combatants. Gentlemen.
Nigga, that's that bullshit.
Gentlemen combatants. A police officer joined an organization, a known terrorist organization, joins another organization that calls themselves, he called them gentlemen combatants. A civilian organization that a police officer is a part of puts the words combatants in it. That's goddamn horrifying, man. We're gentlemen until it's time to not be gentlemen anymore, and then we fight, he said. And when we fight, we do it in an honorable way. We do it in an efficient way, and we win. And we finish the fight when it's brought to us. In other online posts, Fitzgerald talks about fitness and being ready to fight. Fitzgerald often references his line of work in his posts as well. In one Instagram photo from 2019, Fitzgerald posted a photo of himself wearing a Punisher mask and pointing a gun with the caption, "Shit's a lot easier when you can kill people." Wow.
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Should this person have ever been a police officer? Tell me that this person should have ever been a fucking police officer. Tell me this person should have ever been a fucking police officer. This is goddamn horrifying. This is goddamn horrifying.